Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MCU crew. It's Monday. We're live and alive, as the kids say, right, Jesse? That's a thing. Live and are you live and alive?
I am alive.
Yeah.
And I am so very pale today. I have every light on, and apparently that makes me
Yeah, you're
very
translucent.
pale.
You're vibing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
I
living
guess
it
it's a
up.
vibe. I don't know.
You're living it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I'm very tired. I was up far too late last night.
Okay. Is this going to be goofy Jesse energy or what do we what I mean?
You know what? It's always goofy Jesse energy. You'll
Yeah.
just have to find out for yourself.
Okay. All right. Tune in to the show that's happening right now. You don't have to, you're already tuned in if you're hearing this. You don't got to go anywhere. Bronze, you got a busy week.
I've got a busy week.
Yeah.
But Jesse, are you like me where you're a baby if you don't get your like 6 to 8 hours, or
Let me tell you what my morning was. I realized, I said to myself, I said, self, you got to get up tomorrow. You got to go do this thing. So go to bed early. And instead, a certain friend of mine decided to play God of War until 2 a.m.
Happens.
And I couldn't get away. So then I went to bed, was like, all right, well, I got to get up at, I don't know, like we'll say 8. And then so that's, maybe I can get 6 hours in.
Yeah.
Go to bed, wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, why am I awake, bro? Why am I? Stop.
I have a theory, Jesse. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
I have a theory that if you count the hours or plan ahead how many hours you're trying to sleep,
you're screwed.
You're going to get less sleep and you're going to feel less rested than if you just went to sleep and woke up when your alarm went off.
I didn't mean to. Well, so then I woke up and I was like, oh my God. So then I laid in bed for like 20 minutes and finally fell back asleep. Then I woke up before my alarm went off, but maybe like 15 minutes before. And I was like, well, I guess this is no point going back to bed.
Yeah.
So I get out of bed, go into the bathroom, like, all right, I need to like start the shower and maybe, I just need to wake up. So I'm just going to sit under the hot water and let it just get me going.
Yep.
I fell asleep in that shower, dude. I was down. So then in the shower, I like, oh no. So I, jump out the shower and then get dressed. Everything's fine. I come to the office and then I sit in the parking lot for like 10 minutes, quietly closing my eyes.
Jeez.
And I'm like,
it's been a rough morning for old Cox.
That's my problem. If I get like 7 to 8 hours, little sparkling little bundle of joy. Anything less, I'm like, oh, just kill me. Just end it.
Yeah. I started taking cold showers for at least a minute in the morning. And then I put on like normal temperature. I gotta tell you, it's kind of the fix.
That's because you're so horny all the time.
It's kind of the fix. You just wake up, jump in a 60-degree shower, turn that shit up to 105, and you're good to go.
I thought it was the reverse. I thought you were supposed to do.
I think you might
be
supposed to do the reverse,
and then cold shower to close yourself back up.
I do cold at the beginning because I don't want to leave the shower cold. If that makes sense.
Sure. I mean, look, it makes sense to me.
I'm not taking no fucking cold shower. That sounds fucking horrible.
Your body is actually great.
Second.
It's actually great, Bronze.
I'll go into cardiac arrest,
no, you won't.
Dude.
Bronze, look, the science is there. We're going to turn into the Joe Rogan podcast now. The science, Bronze. We've seen studies.
Hold on, go Google that. Really quick.
Dopamine is increased by 2.5x every time you take a cold shower. If you do it for 11 minutes a week, Bronze.
Oh, that's that like getting a cold thing of water.
I don't do that bullshit. I'm not that crazy. I don't get into a ice bath. Yeah, every morning. I don't do that.
Listen, do you know that was the worst part of doing any athletics was the freaking ice bath?
Oh, it's gotta suck. Yeah, it's not a good time.
Or like having to ice your feet or ice an injury.
I don't mind that. Getting into an ice cold bath though.
I can't stand it.
I'm a little frosty boy. I like it.
My coach would like yell at me. Because I was in long jump and track and field, and if I pulled something, I would always put heat on it, and he would be like, ice! And I'm like, hate. And I lived in India, and I didn't like putting ice on me, let alone like here in Washington State. At least India was fucking hot as balls, you know?
It's true. It's true.
I like ice. Everyone can put ice on me. You just build a little igloo around me. And I'll just get all in there.
But I'm one of those people that
little...
I have what I refer to as corpse feet.
What?
Oh yeah, you got them cold feet.
My feet are freakishly cold. You would think this woman is dead.
You gotta get that blood circulation up.
I work out and everything, and my hands are warm, but it's just my feet. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Huh. Gotta take those cold showers. Clearly. It's all about the cold showers, Bronze. It'll change your life. You got to do it.
You need to adapt to the cold.
Yeah, it's 2022. If you're taking hot showers in 2022, you're living in the past.
What are you, some kind of idiot? I don't take hot showers anymore because I realized how bad they are for your skin, especially because I have eczema. So I take tepid showers, and that took a very long transitional period. So my water is barely just above cold, definitely warm.
I can't talk about,
but I don't know if I could do cold.
I can't talk about shower temperatures because I come off so snobby because I'm like, yeah, I take a shower at 105. Sometimes I'll bump it up to 107 because we have a digital thermostat. Have a little electrical. Yeah, we got a digital thermostat on our shower.
I don't do that.
So from my phone right now, I could just pull up an app and say yeah, let's go ahead and warm that shower up to 105 and then shut off, and I'll be in there in 10. And then I just,
Okay, but 105 is pretty hot.
That's cold in this. My wife takes 113 is what her showers are at. And that's you could.
That's quaint.
It's fucking.
That's quaint.
That's crazy.
I used to take scalding hot showers, but like I said, since I developed eczema flares, I was okay, time to chill that out.
Yeah.
My showers are the heat of the sun.
Yeah, you just go all the way to the hot?
Scorching.
Are we talking hotel hot?
Yeah, bro. I'm talking.
You're going to sous vide some chicken
put your
hot?
hand under there. What's the matter with you? Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I'm burn me, bitch. Yeah.
I do love that sensation.
Yeah.
I do love the hotter the better, but yeah, no, I've had to chill out.
It happens.
Process. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of your ability to be under.
But then I'm being cooked. I then cold shock myself.
Yeah, you're sous videing yourself.
I'll have it up and then I'll be
that I don't understand.
No, cold shock is good.
It's great.
Again, studies are saying, Bronze, that 2.5x dopamine. It also helps with cortisol release from the body, which is important if you're stressed. You can't have too much cortisol.
Oh, it's great. The cold shock, the best part is when your body convulses. You're just oh, shit. It's great. Great.
How is your temperature not fucked for the rest of the day? When you get out of the shower, fucking cold.
I'm fine being a little chill getting out of the shower. I, Bronze, am fat, so I'm all right with that. And look, lower core body temperature sounds good to me. Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair, yes. Makes sense. Sitting here trying to think of, I think the only way I can maybe relate to you is I love sitting in a sauna or a hot room and then diving into a pool.
Then jumping into the pool?
Oh yeah.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
that's not as extreme though. So it's it's not a shock, right? It just feels good.
Yeah. I guess it's a little, yeah.
This is horseradish or some kind of when you go out and you think to yourself, I'll add this. Oh, I went to this lovely Chinese restaurant. Oh, is that mustard on my table? I'll add that to my dish. And then you're whoa, that's you become R2D2. When that cold water comes on, I'm wow, that's me. I love it. I love it.
You need to get Max to do an R2D2. By the way, it's one of my favorite Max things is his R2D2.
Done, easy.
On Wednesday, ask him to do it just out of nowhere. It'll be good.
I'll try to do it in character.
Speaking of scalding hot, did you guys see the latest news out of the MCU? The big news of the past week?
What?
They had to CG Tenoch Huerta's groin in his.
Oh yes, everyone on the old TikTok was talking about it. Everyone was pissed that they were like they removed his dong.
No, but he responded and he said it was fake.
Oh, I thought he responded and said it was real. Did I get TikTok?
No, he said the flatter one was the actual picture of him.
Oh, maybe I got.
Yeah, I was really disappointed too. But yeah, he said that in an interview. He said that the less interesting photo or the less spicy photo was the picture of him actually on set, and the other one was enhanced.
Oh no, this was 2 hours ago. It says Tenoch Huerta reveals if his bulge was removed from the final cut of Wakanda Forever, not going to lie, he says. In a recent interview with Rolling Stone, he was asked about his Twitter post that Justin Marvel used digital effects to remove Huerta's bulge from Namor's skin-tight green shorts for the final cut of the movie. Quote, the only thing I could say is the original was the photo in the right, Huerta told the outlet when asked whether he was okay with the apparent CGI job, confirming that the rumor was false without the bulge. That's original. There you go. It says, no, I mean, I'm not going to lie to people. The actor added, every man in the world. We have fragile masculinity, but not in this, and not in that issue. I will say the right one, that is the one in the photo is real on the right. There you go.
Yeah. He confirmed that. Which also I feel like that's kind of a flex. Like this dude must be hung for him to be so comfortable about being like, no, the one with the smaller bulge is mine. Dude, I'm not insecure about that.
Him and the person, the actor that played his general, in every interview they did, they just had like mad swagger. They were it was like just dripping nonstop, out of control. It was insane.
It's like when you get Pedro Pascal and Oscar Isaac in a room and you're like,
yes.
They just make motherfuckers this charismatic.
It's like, not fair.
Are they being made in a factory somewhere?
It's not
Y'all
fair.
just like walk around this charismatic on the regular?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's
the rest
bullshit.
of us will just kill ourselves, I guess.
I mean, I know bullshit. What that's like.
It's bullshit. Yeah, Jesse, you're living that life.
I mean, I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be a daddy to so many. It's fine. It's like whatever.
Oh yeah, you've seen that TikTok too, where you ask if he's got daddy energy.
That's the best one. That's the best
one. I think
one.
me and Jesse are on TikTok the same amount of time. And I'm going to say that's not good. That's not a healthy thing.
Yeah. Although I will say I found the reason why I go to TikTok is this is no joke. This is absolutely true. The reason I go to TikTok is I found this guy. I think his name's Slater. Shout out to this dude.
Okay.
Where he like pretends to be Slater. A 10-year-old kid playing various video games. And it's the most wholesome shit I've ever seen.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Where he just trolls
like,
lobbies.
Come on, we'll make the teamwork makes the dream work. And he's like, I'm 10 and a half, y'all are. And it's just like grown men being like charmed by a little kid. And they're like, this kid rules. It's very funny. It's very cute.
It's good.
That's why I'm there. It's very lovely.
Look.
Wholesome content.
We don't have
those booty shaking dance videos.
Yeah. We don't got an MCU crew TikTok, but Jesse Cox keeps the crew TikToking.
Fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he posts a lot. We'll post one every once in a while. I think we're gonna do like 1 or 2 a week now. But
I love both.
Cox has got a lot.
So I include you in my videos.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm pretty proud of this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I think we have
it's a good one.
Pleasant banter.
Yeah, my chat's pointing out
banter.
Jesse, I had the inverse experience where I had a actual 10-year-old asking me to bark for a heal in Valorant on Saturday
Here's
evening.
The thing.
So little
that's
weird. Yeah.
It's
yeah. Weird. Look,
that's strange.
Valorant is a wild experience. That's all I'm going to say.
I do not like TikTok.
Wow.
And I'm on it out of necessity.
Bronze hates China is what I just heard.
I think Bronze said I hate.
Do. It's banned in India because they're stealing your info.
I agree. They probably are.
But the thing for me about it too is like it's like the #1 app for misinformation. It's like the new Facebook.
Oh, absolutely.
And you'll have people on there just like lying, like through their teeth. And then you have to go off TikTok and discover, oh, these people are lying. And then there's just a lot of like weird culture on there that I'm like, well, time for the giant meteor to end Earth. You know, like the Jeffrey Dahmer fan cams. That was around the time I was like, TikTok isn't for me. Like if you watch the Dahmer show and we're like, I want to suck his dick. I don't want to know that. It's like the oversharing app where people are like, let's talk about embarrassing stories. I'm like, waterboarding couldn't get this out of me.
I will say,
I don't know why you felt the need to share this. If you want to suck Jeffrey Dahmer's dick, you don't need to go online and let people know that you are mentally ill.
I will,
you know what I
will say, Bronze, you're absolutely right. I was just talking about this with my mother the other day, which is because I went to like her storage unit. And it reminded not what Bronze was talking about.
We had to clarify
TikTok.
there. I was just clarifying that.
I was talking. So I went to my parents' storage unit, and while I was there, I was reminded of the fact that I saw a TikTok video where a dude was like, "Hey, I know we're all struggling these hard times, so here's a tip: move into a storage unit." And it was like how he moved in, like wired drilled a hole through a wall and has a wire going to like along the wall. Like, oh yeah, he's got a whole unit set up. And I'm like, all right, first off, one, that's illegal. But two, why are you showing it to the world? And that I think is the problem with TikTok, is TikTok has the same energy as every other early social media where people are just excited to be a part of it. And they start every day sharing everything. And you're like, sometimes maybe don't. Maybe don't say everything you have to say.
I was reading this article. It was fascinating about van lifers and how so many of them were like, this is basically being homeless. And I started doing this because TikTok convinced me I would save money on my rent and all of this stuff. And now I'm worse off than I was before. You know, I've lost my apartment and all this stuff. And I'm just like, and they're like, it's like being homeless. You're taking truck stop showers and all this shit, and they glorify it and act like, hey guys, day 46 of living in my van. Today we're in Las Vegas, so I get ready. And they're like, no, you're literally homeless.
Yeah.
But they've like I said, they glamorize it to where it's like, I wouldn't have my life any other way. It's so perfect, guys. And I'm like, yeah, no, this is just a little too, as someone who like can see through that bullshit very quickly, I'm just like, it's the app turns me off, you know?
Gotcha.
Be like,
all I'm hearing.
Day 46 of working at Twitter. First, I go to the yoga studio. I'm like, you know, companies have all those amenities just so you spend more time at work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I need you to
they're
know,
over here like,
Bronze, your voice for that like character, you are one bad day away from being able to pull that off for the rest of your life. If you just want to make a switch and be like, hey guys,
yeah,
I've debated parodying it. That's why the voice is so perfect, because I was like, I want to like start stitching my videos together with these and be like, hey guys, day 46 of working at GameStop.
Yeah, that's easy TikTok.
My game, you know, my job is sucking my soul out of my ass, but I do get to spend all day around games, so that's pretty cool.
This is what I'm hearing, Bronze. I'm hearing that the algorithm hasn't found you yet, right? And you haven't found the algorithm. Because those TikTok accounts exist that do exactly what you just said. I've seen them. I know they do. So you just got to spend a little bit more time, let your data stew a little bit in the old TikTok, and then they're going to serve you up a great, great little course.
There's one account I really like, and it's this girl redoing scenes from the Kardashians.
Sure.
And it's like probably my favorite thing. And it is her being like, so Kim was supposed to come to my party and she didn't come. And it's like, what the fuck? And it makes you realize how stupid that show is. Because without the music and the editing, and it's just her like recreating scenes from the Kardashians by herself, usually while shaking a salad, because apparently that's what they're always doing. So she's just like sitting there shaking a salad, like fighting with herself the entire time. And I was like, okay, this account I like, but they're few and far between.
That's how you do it. You gotta do it that way. Just let the algorithm take you.
In other news, I'm gonna be a van lifer. So
yeah, just travel around doing live tabletop shows from a van.
What did you say?
I don't think you can handle it. I don't think you can do it.
Oh. Challenge.
You could be a
Why
van
do you
lifer.
think I could do it?
Challenge thrown down.
I just don't think you could.
You think I'm too bougie to live in a van?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I think. Yes. That's exactly what I think.
You don't think
I
Jesse,
said.
She could still get chai tea and stuff while in a van?
No. She couldn't even. She couldn't even. She'd have to get some bougie ass. She's over here with just normal ass chai.
That's a compliment though. Jesse, coming from you, that's a compliment though, to be like, Nah, girl, you too bougie to live in a van.
No, girl, you too bougie.
There you go.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't do it. I'd do it for a day and be like, nah, this is bullshit. I'm going home. I couldn't do it. I know me.
Van life would be tough, if I'm honest.
You kidding me?
Bronze is pretty nomadic, though. I think she might be able to do it.
False.
Do you think this is a false front that Bronze puts on with all the travel? Does she secretly hate
travel.
it all?
That's called a job. That's not called a life. That's work.
It's pretty.
I'll put it.
You compare it to van life.
This way. If I had to work 2 jobs and live in an apartment by myself, or 1 job, or split an apartment with a roommate, I did work 2 jobs to live by myself. So
sure,
I do. I do think I'm accustomed to a certain amount of space and luxury, even if that's like, oh, I don't want to have a room.
I mean, I'll tell you this: your Doctor Strange shrine would not exist in the van.
No, it wouldn't.
The outside would be painted like those 1970s wizards, but it's Doctor
Okay,
Strange.
now I want to live in a van.
Yep.
Now I want to live in a van.
Why don't you just get a van? You don't have to live in it. Just get a van and paint that on
true.
it.
No, that's a lot of work.
Then you don't got to put Doctor Strange on. You can just get Doctor Strange on the outside of the van.
I would actually
not live in it.
No joke. If I was like wealthy, like beyond filthy rich, if I had like generational billions, I would purposefully just spend it all on friends. And I'm gonna let you know, first gift I get, Bronze, I would buy you a like 1986 van, painted. It would all be brand new on the inside, but the outside would be painted like an old school wizard thing. But it'd be
talking like a Scooby-Doo ass van.
This is a perfect
Like you expect like 10 people to jump out of the front and catch the ghost, but it's just Bronze.
I would check out the back of this van and play D&D in it, like Stranger Things style. You need to know that. There would be lights in there, and I would have it set up. And
what if you just made the van like a D20? Like that was the paint job. That's too much?
How would that even work?
I mean, it doesn't.
You mean the paint job? I thought you meant like, what if the van was an actual D20?
Not like rolling around in a D20. You'd have to get a Zorb or whatever.
You know, like those Elmore, paintings, like there's just very classic.
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what that is. Elmore? Like Elmore Fudd?
Larry Elmore?
Oh, Larry Elmore. Okay, sure. Yeah. I'm looking at it now. Yeah.
Elmore Fudd.
I didn't know how you spell it. I mean, I was kind of close. Yeah.
If you look at Larry Elmore's like wizard stuff, like that's definitely in my interest of,
Yep, that's what I want.
Is Larry still alive? Or is this too old? How old is Larry? This shit's pretty old.
God, I've never looked that up.
How old? Oh. And then we're going to talk some Marvel.
Oh, he's alive. 74 years old.
Damn. He's up there.
He's up there.
Wait. Oh. For some reason it showed up. Who is Clyde? Okay, I guess we're just getting into artists now. Yeah, he's born in 48. Anyways, it's 20 minutes on non-MCU. Hey, you guys want to talk the...
Yeah, people will probably complain. But before they do,
yeah,
this is the photo I want for you, Bronze. There you go.
Oh.
It's in chat. That's what I want.
In chat?
But it's just Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. That's what I want for you. I want you to drive around in that.
That's
what
perfect.
I make for you. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Just the Doctor Strange right there.
Except it's just Doctor Strange. Same uniform, same everything, just Doctor Strange.
I don't know why. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for the next Doctor Strange movie.
No,
it gets wild.
Well, there's no spoilers on this, but yeah. Anyways,
I was in a mage game with Jerry, and I played like your classic 80s wizard, or the class that belongs to that. As soon as I heard there's an Order of Hermes, and they're like the big hat 80s wizards that are like, Gandalf, I was like, okay, well, clearly I need to play that.
Yeah,
nothing else matters.
That's who you are.
Yeah. That character rides in that van. That's how it goes.
Yep.
All right, let's talk Guardian special. First and foremost, what the fuck was going on with Groot?
He's buff Groot now.
I don't, you know what it reminded me of? reminded me of like a fucking Teletubby on steroids. It looked really awkward every time he was on camera. And I felt like they were just trying to save money on the CG by putting a man in a costume.
I feel like I was thinking the same thing, but my take was it was Disney saying it's really hard to make a Groot character walk around an amusement park. So why not make him look more human in build? So it's a suit instead of a CG thing. Yeah. So now when people go to a park in the future, Groot will be like, "Oh, I'm Groot," and it's just a guy in a suit versus the little thin stick man, which is really hard to emulate in a park.
Chad is saying that Groot was all CG according to James Gunn.
Sure. I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying, I think the reason why he looks like a dude in a suit is so it can be a dude in a suit in a park.
I mean, it looked like a suit to me. That's very, I guess that's maybe, is that good CG if it looked like a suit?
If it looked real enough to be a suit? Maybe.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think the reason he looked so awkward is he's out of that like sullen teen stage, right?
Yeah, I guess he's supposed to be like a gym bro, like a 20-year-old gym bro.
Yeah, and have you ever seen them?
Yeah, no, I know. I've seen.
They look pretty awkward, you know?
Yeah.
Until they like have their glow up, like,
yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely seen people that I'm like, oh, you look a little bit like you're still growing into your head.
Yeah.
But your muscles have bloomed up out of nowhere, you know? Like it can be a little awkward looking. I'm happy he's out of his sullen phase.
Yeah.
He did look a bit strange.
It was I don't know. I wasn't expecting that. To hear it was all VFX is, I guess they weren't working on She-Hulk. Right? They were working on Groot. They had what 2 years I think is when this was filmed, so they had some time to put in the work on it. But yeah, Groot looked a little bit weird. He was buff Groot. Didn't really do much.
All right. I have to say it.
Say it.
I have to get it out.
Get it out.
I have to get it out.
Get it out.
Here we go.
This is the craziest shit to say about a Christmas special.
Let's hear it.
Here we go.
Craziest shit you will ever hear out of my mouth. Here we go. It was like a lot of Christmas.
Yeah.
It was like every single Christmas song. It was like it veered into Hallmark movie category for me. I was like, if this was any other holiday, we'd be saying it was propaganda. If this was like Pride, we'd be saying it was propaganda. So I never want to hear that there's a war on Christmas again, because they had a Jesus Christ baby in a manger, girl. Like it was the most Christmas thing I've seen in my life.
But Bronze, it is a war on Christmas because they went to a gay bar, Bronze. How could they do it?
But that's
how could they do it, Bronze? Baby Jesus did not die so you could go to a gay bar, Bronze. Okay.
Baby Jesus died.
I feel like that's probably part of it.
That's the classic story of Christmas. Is baby Jesus died. That's gonna be on TikTok.
They don't even explicitly say it's a gay bar.
No, they don't. You kind of, I feel like only people that are paying attention are gonna get that it was a gay bar.
You can fucking tell.
I mean, they definitely 100% like focused in on a pride. Like they had like a flag in the background, and there was like,
I didn't even see the flag.
Like, I was like, oh, they're gonna go to this. Like the minute I saw that, I was like, oh, this is gonna be Drax gets hit on, and he's gonna be oblivious. The scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm here for this.
Also,
I'm fine with it.
That was was that Flula? Is the bartender what's the actor's name? Is the bartender? He's an internet personality, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Okay. I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, Flula Borg is apparently his name. He was the bartender.
I love that name. That's a great name.
He's
I wish I had like a
name.
Yeah, my name's Cox. I wish my last name was Borg. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, it was very Christmassy, Bronze. Like straight up, it was very Christmassy. There's no doubt about it.
I will say, as it went on, I kept thinking, wait, so this is the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Yeah.
So why not just call it the Christmas? Because it is 100% Christmas.
Oh,
There's not like any other holiday.
That's why I was so confused because I really thought it was gonna be a space holiday, and maybe that makes me foolish, but I thought it was gonna be like all of them doing their own holidays, and then, like, of course, like, Peter Quill brings in Christmas. So I thought it was gonna be like an amalgamation of, like, weird space holidays. I don't know, maybe that's very Rick and Morty of me to, like, think that way. And then it was like, they had not 1, but
You just have to have a
2
high IQ.
performances. 'Cause to me, it's also like, how cornball does something get? 'Cause listen, I'm not Christian, but, like, I love Muppets Christmas Carol. That movie
Oh,
fucks. That
absolutely.
movie bangs, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch a Christmas movie. I also love Mean Girls, and that's kind of a Christmas movie too, if you think about it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's also yeah. So, like, I like Christmas movies, but when you get to the point of, like, singing into the mic with a guitar, that's when I'm like, "What in the Caucasian nonsense is going on here?" And
It's
they did
supposed
that
to be
twice!
like the old 1970s
Yes.
Christmas
I
specials.
know, but they did it twice, girl. They had Kevin Bacon up in here in a vest.
Oh, Kevin Bacon was, he was footloosing all over that stage.
I gotta be honest.
I was like, this is very Christmassy. This is okay. I wasn't expecting that. I was surprised.
Jesse was going to be honest for a second.
I liked it.
So did I. I thought it was real silly, and then it had like 2 actual MCU canonical bits with the sister thing and with the gun as a present thing, and that was it.
And there was in the background of one scene, the Kingo movie special, the Kingo Christmas special they had.
Yeah, someone
thought that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, like for what it was, I went in expecting not to give a damn, and I came out being like, I love watching out of all the relationships that developed in Marvel, for some reason, Drax and Mantis does it for me.
They're pretty good.
The 2 of them, I absolutely love their interactions.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's like old slapstick style goofs. Don't care. Big fan.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I'm like, I like the 2 of them. They're so goofy. I'm like, that's good goofs.
They got great chemistry, that's for sure. And I think it was smart to like focus on them, both for financial reasons, I'm sure.
Sure.
Because the other Chris Pratt's probably stupid expensive, and I wonder what Kevin Bacon asked. I wonder what an actor asks for when they say, "Hey, can you play yourself in this film?"
I mean, probably a lot because they're portraying themselves,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the vibe of it. I think the interesting thing is watching the way they use the other characters. I think was very smart. They didn't overuse Rocket. They didn't overuse Groot. They didn't overuse Nebula. And when they were used, like Nebula saying, "You can't run from me forever, Bacon," or whatever she said, was hilarious.
Also, her
line delivery was so good.
The dance thing, I wouldn't even call it dancing, but whenever she like tried to dance was also very funny.
I noticed that.
So bad.
I was watching the scene. And because the Kevin Bacon song went on forever.
Yeah.
But I was watching the scene, and Nebula the entire time is doing this ridiculous like this ridiculous dance.
Yeah.
And I was like, are they gonna ever close up on her, or is that just really her just going all out being goofy, and the camera wasn't even focused on her? She just did it to do it. And at one point they kind of focused on her, but the rest of it, she's just in the background dancing like she's the center of attention. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's very good. I was like, I see you over there acting.
I like that bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kraglin was pretty cool. I liked the fact.
I liked Kraglin.
Yeah.
But with the flesh-colored skin, I don't know if
right here,
looks
like
so
up
weird,
here,
like,
up here.
Yeah,
I was kind of weird. That was kind of weird, bro.
It made me fucking itch, bro. I don't know if it was just me.
No, it was kind of weird.
It was weird.
It was like, does he have to like get a Q-tip and like pull that back to like go around it? You know what I'm saying?
It was gross. It was gross.
Yeah.
For some reason, I never clocked it when old boy was blue. Like, it never looked like that.
I don't know if it had that much like skin buildup on it. It was kind of weird looking.
Skin build. Don't use the word skin buildup.
It did have like a flap of skin.
Yeah,
like
it's got like a little flap right there.
Sucked, dude. Sucked. I was like, that's awful looking. I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kraglin is I think he might be like my favorite Guardian of the Galaxy though, in terms of I guess Cosmo's also a dog, so maybe he wins by default. Maybe they win by default.
Oh man, you know what?
Kraglin's
I love
voice
Cosmo.
Cosmo is hilarious. Hilarious.
I love Cosmo. Cosmo's my favorite, and I'm happy that
also
he's in the zone.
Was it covered at all anywhere else that they own Nowhere now? Like the collector just
they
gave
dropped
them
it
Nowhere
right at the beginning. That was
it.
Yeah, they were just like, well, ever since we took over Nowhere from the collector, I was like, oh. And then she's like, well, I'm Quill's sister. I was like, I kind of love that they're like, this shit happened. Get over it. Like, just kind of like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if for Guardians,
like that tone of it.
Yes, I wonder if for Guardians 3, they're gonna treat Nowhere as like a Guardians of the Galaxy like theme park, because they're like known now, right? Like Peter Quill is known as, and they even talked about it when Kraglin was like, "Hey, he's the hero of the universe. He saved the universe or whatever by dancing."
By dancing, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna turn Nowhere into a Guardians hub for fans to come and grab merch and shit.
Damn it. I'm already thinking there was so much I loved in this. It was like not amazing, but I thoroughly enjoyed the entire, like when they flip the police car and then she goes over and gives him the candy cane as an apology. Shit cracked me up. I was like, all right, this is very, very good.
Did you see Drax's shirt that he got from the Christmas store?
Yes. Everything, like,
there's just a giant
all
cat
their
with a hat
Christmas
and lasers.
apparel was
great.
Lovely. Yeah, it was.
No,
there was a lot in there to love.
The,
I do think.
No, continue.
Oh no, I do think the things that you mentioned in the beginning, the like songs and stuff. I know why they did it, because it's that 80s 70s holiday special vibe, which is what Peter would have been into. Like I get it, but it doesn't mean that I like it. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I like 2 5-minute songs about Christmas that are not like any of the standards. It's like, this is me singing a song I just made up, and you're like, okay, But other than that, like I was like, all right, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
I don't see this being. I know that there was a press release and it was like the show you watch with your kids for years to come, and I was like,
I don't see that being the case. Yeah, like an instant Christmas classic. I was like,
I don't know about that, but like,
maybe.
okay,
I don't know. Yeah. Bronze, you're gonna say something? Do you remember?
Oh, I love how much they talk about how they hate actors.
Yeah, I don't like. Where did that come
Nebula's
from?
Bit at the end where she's just like, I guess not all actors are pieces of shit.
I think the only curse word of the entire thing.
Yeah.
Nebula is kind of my favorite. I also like how they show that like aliens have very almost like tough lives, and because they address it, right? Like Nebula's life has been very difficult. Kraglin's life has been very difficult. So the way they kind of talk about Earth is like, Earthlings are so weird. And they like say that at multiple points, because it's like, you guys aren't just fixated on survival. Like you guys are doing all this. But I guess like to put a cap on like why this little special was like weird to me or felt like propaganda-y, is they keep talking about like the meaning of Christmas, and then it's just like a Kevin Bacon song while they give each other shit. And I was like, so capitalism. Like I was like, what is supposed to be the what is supposed to be the meaning? And they're like, we gotta remind Peter Quill about the magic of Christmas. And it's just them giving each other gifts. And I was like, so not like a meal together or spending time with family. Like, is it just giving each other stuff? Because like
I think
I
they set up in the
like, I don't get it.
Well, it's less about the gift and the idea of the gift giving.
Yeah, I think they tried to set up in the animated bit in the beginning when Yondu comes in. He's like, what is all this bar? And he's like, it's not about giving. Yeah, he's like, we'll rather just take what we want. We don't give gifts. And he's like, it's not about the gift. It's about being appreciative, or I think was like the spin. So I get what they were trying to do, but you're right. Like finally, the meaning of Christmas, and it's them just like giving each other, oh, here's an arm I stole, and here's a bunch of things I made that for some reason are the exact story we just watched. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure.
Yeah. I didn't understand why that was animated, by the way.
The intro, outro?
Yeah.
Again, because the whole
probably
thing,
budget restraints or something, but
no, I think they just were. It
was
reminds
it just trying to be
of,
a holiday
have you seen
movie?
the Star Wars holiday special?
Not in a while. It's been
it is like
decade or
bad
two.
songs, animated bits, like goofy. It's the kind of vibe they're going for. That weird like late 70s, 80s holiday special where everyone's singing and it's actors showing up to like be a goof, and you know there's a weird animated segment for some reason. I get what they're doing.
Okay.
Some of it landed very well, and some of it I was like, there's a reason why we don't do this anymore. It's like,
you know what I would much rather have? A Doctor Strange Halloween special, a la Vincent Price throwing a Halloween party.
Ooh,
because
that'd be fun.
Vincent Price's like sort of Halloween party bit that they do on SNL is amazing.
Yeah,
and I think that seeing Doctor Strange throw a Halloween party for everybody would be probably much more my speed.
Yeah.
Call me Disney.
My God, JP.
Call me.
I'd be into that.
No, don't call Bronze. Don't call Bronze. Call me Marvel.
Whoa.
Because literally, we've already done this.
Have we?
With Christmas with Cox.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Doctor Strange special.
It's true.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what Christmas with Cox is.
So I did years ago. I did a special with JP.
4 years
holiday
ago?
special.
5 years ago? 4?
Yeah, this was a while ago. And it was Christmas themed, but it could be any theme. It doesn't matter. And the premise was that it was like me, the DM Jesse, inviting all my streamer buddies. And I don't remember who was on the show with us at the time. There's a bunch of, streamers, probably like Dodger and whoever.
I think it was Dodger, Strip, and Krendor me.
Okay, yes. And so, and then like I included all these NPCs that were just other streamers. And it was like everyone coming over for a great big holiday party, and then someone gets murdered. And it starts as a murder mystery. And it's like, what the hell? What's going on? And as the hours go on in the stream, the overlay got more corrupted and awful. Like the tone of the game got worse and worse and worse. And by the end of it, it was straight up like, yeah, no, there's a cult, and it's
it was in my house.
Old god they worship.
Yeah, it was my house.
Underneath the house, and you have to go defeat this old god. Oh, by the way, the old god's name is Cthulhu, the many-eyed Twitch god that we all serve. And I was like, right. I felt very good about that. And then then at the end they fought a giant tentacled many-eyed beast, and I was like, that's a Doctor Strange thing. It starts out like, come on over to the Sanctum for a party, and by the end, old gods.
Yeah.
Call me. It's already been done.
Do it up.
Don't call him Disney. Call me.
No.
I'll co-opt his ideas into something good.
Because it was on this show, I get both their ideas. And so whatever they get, I, have ownership of. So
right. But let me remind you, Marvel. I am a very angry white man, and so I've got things to say about you in my next video coming out this week. I will destroy you. You don't know the power of angry white nerds. We're everywhere, baby. Everywhere.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I've got 18 videos about Brie Larson in the can, just ready to go.
Oof. Lock and loaded.
Did you see Mantis's face when she has to take a picture of Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It felt shady. She's literally like,
yeah.
That's the face she made. Because I was
might
like,
not like her. I don't know. There might
what
be
happened
beef.
here? That's what I was worried. I was like, what's the tea? What's the fucking tea?
I don't know about you guys, but I got real sad when she said Steve and then ran towards Captain America. I was like, man.
I got confused. I was like, she knows
Cap.
Steve? that was my. I was like, she knows Steve?
Yeah, they call him by first name. First base name.
Everyone.
Yeah. Got real sad.
Yeah.
Real sad.
Look.
I got sad when GoBots killed Drax's family.
What was that? Oh, can you explain that goof?
It was so funny.
What? I don't understand. I didn't understand it for some reason. I think I'm like too young.
GoBots are canonical, apparently, and I'll be here for it. I'm here for it.
So that was the goof that they're a real entity, and that's what actually killed.
Yes, yeah. He's like,
okay.
That made me laugh so hard. I was
Why
like,
would you do that?
GoBots.
Sorry, GoBots killed his family. That was the best thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah,
that shit. Man. And then the fact that scene where he's in the background beating the shit out of him was like, again, the two of them. It's the perfect Abbott and Costello-esque pairing. The one who's totally played straight the entire time, and the other one who's a giant goofball. And then they just switch between scenes. They switch which one's the goofball and which one's the straight one, and it works every time. It's so good.
Yeah, they were definitely great. They were definitely great. You could also tell that Drax is wearing like heftier clothing because there's no way he's in the shape that he was when they filmed that first film. No fucking way.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine, but it was, it's impossible to hold that for what, a decade? How long has it been since that first film came out? 8 years?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, shout out to all the actors who had to get into like full ass mega makeup for like 3 lines. Like Nebula, I think, said 4 things the entire show. And I'm like, shout out for putting all that on. Same with like Drax was a big feature, so I get why that he's in like makeup, but like some of the people that showed, I was like, damn.
They could have like shooting wise, they could have tacked that on to like a day of Guardians 3, to be honest.
I mean, 100% the scenes that were in nowhere were filmed in either like 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That was it.
Nowhere also looked like a set.
Yes.
I mean that like
in a great way.
It looks like it looks like it was put like probably on a soundstage next to where they were filming Guardians 3. And it was like, okay, after these pickups, we're gonna have you go over to this soundstage and shoot that real quick because it looked like a soundstage.
Yeah.
Like,
It
looked like it was a circle. Like when you said theme park, I was like 100% that's what I was thinking. Like there's no open edges, there's no open alleys that go anywhere. It's very much feels like it's like a circle.
Yeah.
And if you look at the movie, it didn't feel as much like that. It looked more like a city.
Yep.
So I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely something that they built out, and then they probably had like people from I don't know, just a theory, people from the Guardians production like branch off and like shoot stuff over there when they're not in scene, because that would be the most economical way to do this too.
Yeah.
Is to just do it all at once because you already have people hired, you already have the space, and you're already paying for it. So might as well shoot as much as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was cool. I like these little special presentations. I thought this and Werewolf was, it's 50 minutes. It's not a huge amount of like time just to sit down, watch it quick, get some laughs, enjoy some little tidbits, maybe get like a thing or two for the greater MCU and move on. I like it.
I like things that are also more insular like this because I think, in my opinion, what the MCU needs to start doing, and I know they won't because it doesn't make sense from a money point of view, but to like start being like, oh, if you are into Cosmic Marvel, these are the 4 names you look out for. And if you're into, Armor Wars, these are the 4 shows you maybe watch, because I'm gonna say it, 3-hour movies, they're not for me, bro. I don't like them. I have not watched a single one in Phase 4 that I was like, oh, this was a good length movie. Every single time I'm like, this is way too fucking long. They're trying to fit way too much into one fucking movie. The plot gets really muddled, instead of having like a really clean, concise plot. And I think people miss like the sort of style of like Iron Man 1, where it's just about Iron Man and it's not about like 18 other plot hooks. And so I've been hearing more and more about people saying Marvel burnout, and other people are like, oh, you're just a hater. And I'm like, well, no, though, for your average person, this is a lot to have to watch. Like there were major relevant like plot details in this holiday special.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3. Yeah.
Like and Loki has set up like fucking everything. So the idea that you have to watch every single show, every single special, every single movie, I think that's a lot for some people. But I do like this, because if this would have been 20 minutes of lore that they would have had to jam into the movie, I would have been annoyed, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So I'm happy that they gave us this and kind of addressed this and established Peter and Mantis as like brother and sister, and that he's happy. I'm happy that this happened outside the movie. So in the movie, we can just kind of like not try to jam stuff in there that's not really fitting,
Yeah, I agree.
And I liked
it for that reason
that
too.
It doesn't affect anything else. Like if you are not a Guardians fan and you didn't watch the holiday special, it doesn't change anything for you. And if you are a Guardians fan, you're probably going to watch it anyway.
Right.
Because at this point, the amount of required watching to get into something is like, and I realized that was my big disconnect with Multiverse of Madness. People who didn't watch WandaVision liked it a lot.
Yep.
people who did watch WandaVision were like, what was WandaVision for? And I think like that's their big, I think that's a big problem right now is like, do we make the movie for people who have seen everything? Or do we make the movie for people who have seen none of this and have it make sense for them? So yeah, I don't know. That's just my 2 bits. I like stuff that's more insular and more vignetted, you know?
No, that's smart to like keep it within the universe of the show rather than go outside and like, you know, make a Captain America and Falcon type deal, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier type commentary in this. Just wouldn't make sense. Yeah.
And I love Loki. Like that was probably my favorite of the MCU plus shows, but people who haven't seen it, I feel so bad for them seeing Kang in Quantumania and stuff and not knowing who the fuck that is. And I'm like, y'all, you don't understand. Like Loki is the center pin of the MCU right now. It establishes the multiverse. It establishes Kang. It establishes like basically the logic under which the entire MCU is going to function. And people who haven't seen it, do they even know like what's going on?
That's been a concern of mine since the beginning, and a good supplemental thing like a Disney Plus show should be something you can watch, like the Christmas special, where you're absolutely right, where it doesn't really like change the game. I think a great example is Falcon Winter Soldier. The show itself had a lot of issues, but what they tried to do was what these shows should be, right?
Where they grow the characters, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like supplemental. It like makes them better for people who care. Yeah, I like what Loki did, but the concept of Loki is one that, kind of like Wanda, you're just like, well, I hope this doesn't ruin any movies, or vice versa. The movies ruin the show now.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what Loki season 2 does.
I adore Loki. It's just weird that the Kang plot didn't come up in something related to Loki, but instead is coming up in Ant-Man, which I would say is like not the first superhero you associate with Loki. Like Kang coming up in Quantumania and the quantum realm makes sense to me. And it's something like I think we actually predicted on the show a while ago. But it is one of those things where I'm like,
that's where the TVA or whatever's located.
Yeah. I think we had that theory when Loki was airing that the TVA was located in the quantum realm. And I remember like specifically talking about the stones and my whole theory on why, you know, things were shaking out the way they were. It's crazy that might be true. But I guess like for me, it's like from a brand perspective, for the big Kang drop to be in Quantumania, it's like how much like I guess I'm like how related is Ant-Man to Loki, where people that watch Loki would potentially go see an Ant-Man film versus like a Thor movie or a Loki movie. And that's where my concern is like, are they going to have to retread all of that lore for people that didn't see it, which is going to be boring for those of us who have? Or are they going to leave those people behind and just say, this is Kang, his entrance is a big deal?
Yeah, I feel like they're going to do a mix. So it's going to be, at least from what I can tell, my assumption is the movie is going to be a Kang that we, as, you know, people that know Kang, we're going to know this guy is one of the many Kangs, but he's going to be introduced as sort of like, I'm here to help you, my dude. Don't even stress about it. I'm not evil at all.
He's going to be a manipulator King. Yeah.
And so that'll be our introduction to, like, the audience will be like, oh, this guy seems neat. And then he's a villain. And then over the next X number of movies, stuff will be rolled out about how, like, here's the history of Kang. This is the Kangs. So my hope is that they'll do it that way. So it's like drip fed to an audience. But if you've watched Loki, you kind of know the vibe. So we don't have to spend 15 minutes on a backstory in a movie, which is like we already know. This is my hope.
Yeah.
I feel like I can predict a lot about the MCU based off of which comics come out.
Yeah, they definitely lead the
you'll see them like
the shows
start pulling comics.
Well, they also promote it too. They'll promote on like the official Marvel.com website of like, check out the new blippity bloppity of X character and this new character. And you're like, who the fuck's that?
Sure.
And then 6 months later,
and
he's in the film.
Yeah. And unrelated, because there is a Kang comic I talk about comics on my show Bagged and Boarded, humble plug, if you wanna, come through for more comic book related content. But there's been a lot of Kang comics, and they always have had a Doctor Doom appearance. And I feel like I have to let y'all know that. Like, they've been and I'm like, "Hmm," and now they've, like, they've kind of brought back the Fantastic Four in a huge way.
Yep, saw
And
that
I'm like,
too.
"Ooh, are they testing? Are they testing to see, like, how do
Well,
people
didn't
feel about
they
this?"
in Loki, did they mention that he's a Richards? Did they say, like, what his name was in the future?
No. He says, like, I think he mentions year 3000. I think he mentions that he met other versions of himself, but he does not mention Reed Richards.
He doesn't mention that
No.
he's like the great grandson or whatever?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
I
So
bet
I
you that
think
comes up somewhere.
I think Reed's
Yeah.
coming very soon. I think, the Fantastic Four are coming really soon. I think we're gonna see Galactus. That's my crazy theory
And
because we've
Guardians?
introduced Celestials. I think Guardians makes the most sense for Galactus.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm, like, way off base there. But I think, like, Guardians is the one where it makes sense for Cosmic Marvel to talk about Galactus. And they would be less involved in stuff like, like like a Skrull invasion, like, wouldn't apply to them as much as, like, other people
Right.
because they don't even live on Earth, you know what I mean? So, like, um yeah, I definitely think, like, we're headed that way based off of what the comics are doing. I feel like the comics, they always test and see what's selling, what's not selling, what storylines do people like, which ones do they not like, and then a lot of times they take those stories, like, verbatim and make movies out of them. Like, the Thor movie
Yeah.
was loosely based off of, like, Jason Aaron's comics of Thor. Um, so, like, yeah, I think Kang is gonna tie into that. The reason I bring that up is, like, that makes me more stressed where I'm like, "Oh my god, that's so many characters to put in."
They're getting
Like, we got the Fantastic Four, we got like, I'm just like, "Oh my god," like, if the movies, The Guardians, Fantastic Four, Kang, it works. Like, it meshes, I think, but if you start
Right.
introducing everybody else, like, it's like, this is too much almost, so
Phase 5. I mean, Phase 4 was also the, like, how many characters can we cram into it? And hopefully they learned that.
hence the concern.
Yeah, hopefully they've learned that, like, they're at the peak. They've reached that number to where they need to maybe cut back a little bit, but we'll see because they're ramping up towards, Secret Wars where they're going to try to outdo Endgame. And Endgame had everyone, and now they're going to have everyone. So,
Sure.
yeah, we'll just have to see.
I know, Jesse, you DM'd us a link of, like, Vincent D'Onofrio saying he wants to fight Spider-Man.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen here, I love Kingpin. Kingpin's one of my favorite villains. Kingpin doesn't belong in a movie with Kang or Doctor Doom, right? Like, he's kind of operating on a different scale. Yeah. So, like, yeah, I wanna see that movie too, and I hope we don't get so hell-bent on jamming Spider-Man into world-ending events that we will never get that, because that would be
because he's such a
heartbreaking.
big star. Yeah, like, it's such a big
Yeah.
movie get.
But I hope that's not what it happens, is like,
Hey,
"Oh, well, clearly Spider-Man can only handle galactic crime," and I'm like, "Well, he lost his suit.
yeah,
He's in
he's
spandex
basic now.
Right.
So, like, why can't he fight Kingpin? And why
Dude,
can't he deal with Punisher?"
that'd be so
Like,
sick if he becomes, and I don't know if Sony would ever want it, right? If Sony would ever allow that, because they control a lot of the, if not all of the decisions around Spider-Man. But if you put him in Daredevil, you throw in some, like, Punisher stuff in there, put him up against Kingpin, do a little tag team, maybe have Wolverine step in some form.
and the juxtaposition of, like, Spider-Man, like Peter Parker with like
Daredevil
Punisher
or
is, like,
Punisher,
a big one,
yeah.
right? Like, because, like, it's like, "Oh, this guy's kinda cool," and then he starts murdering people, and it's like, "No, wait." So I feel like they also spend a lot of time, like, fighting each other, and that's also happening in the comics right now, is the Punisher is leading the Hand, and Daredevil,
Whoa,
is leading the Fist,
damn, that's crazy.
and they are, like, a little bit in opposition to each other. And Elektra is a part of it too. It's very complicated.
Damn.
But it's not bad because they call Punisher the god of murder. So it's like clearly he's the perfect person to be in charge of the hand because who murders more than the Punisher? Nobody.
Right.
He's the perfect one.
I like that.
Yeah. So like it's really interesting. So like I think Punisher is one of those characters they've only just scratched the surface of. I love the Netflix series because he's just as liable to be a villain as he is to be a hero. And that's typically how he goes. And this is me being selfish, putting it out there as a Christmas wish, I guess. I want to see John Bernthal's Punisher and Zemo because they have a lot of interplay in the comics. I want to see these two characters. I really want to see these two characters because they are like sworn enemies in the comics. I want to see that actor, I forget his name right now, with John Bernthal. Like
something Brulin
I just think it would be so good because you have Bernthal who's like, and then you have this like very well-spoken like Turkish delight. You know?
Daniel Bruhl. There you go.
I
liked it. I killed him and I liked it.
That's a pretty good Punisher. I'm like kind of of all the
Bronze,
people to have a Punisher impersonation was
tell me
not
he doesn't
Bronze.
talk like that.
No, he 100% does.
Huge crush, but he like is like every line is like he's like yelling it begrudgingly at somebody, you know, like I'm a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I get my hands bloody. Your hands stay clean. I killed him and I liked it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I kind of want to see him with Zemo.
It's true.
Like, how does that shake out? Like, how does that? Where does that go?
I mean, now I want to see that. Now, you've sold me already. I want to see this the one-man stage show
of Bernthal and Bruhl.
Yeah, except it's just Bronze doing all the voices.
Oh, true.
It's just Bronze on stage doing all the voices.
It's true.
Oh my god.
Be good. Be good.
Yeah, one of those one of those things where you're facing one way to be one character.
Yeah.
You face the other way to be
and
the
other lights are slightly different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one prop on stage, and everyone's waiting for you to use it, but you never use it.
Yeah. Random tangent, but in Punisher, God damn it, who's the man in the chair? Not Gizmo, not Wizard.
Oh, what the hell is his name? Curly blonde hair guy.
Yeah, what? I forget. Micro is in Andor. In a great role.
God damn it. I started that show. I
need
to finish
that. Can we talk about rumors really quick?
Let's hear rumors. Let's hear it.
Just like two rumors that I'm not obsessed over them, but I do think they're interesting. So Emilia Clarke, we know is going to be in Secret Invasion.
Yes.
And her character, I don't know what they're going to do with her in Secret Invasion, but her character in the comics is just straight up a mutant.
Yeah.
So like,
what's
going on there?
Namor straight up said mutant. I feel like mutants are going to become,
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's
Miss
interesting
Marvel, even though we've eliminated that from our collective memories. They played the X-Men theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
And Miss Marvel, yeah, for sure.
They canonized it and just nobody cared about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was the big get of the end of the show, but it was Miss Marvel.
And then other rumor that I'm obsessed with. Okay. This sentence makes no sense to me. I don't know why it's put together the way it is, but get ready for this sentence. This is just, think about this.
Okay.
I'm just going to read the headline. Sacha Baron Cohen reportedly has joined the cast of Ironheart.
Yep.
As Mephisto.
Yep. Yeah, Ironheart has a lot of supernatural stuff into it. Like the Hood is also in Ironheart. The Hood is has a demon.
None of what,
like that's where his powers
None
come
of
from.
what I know of Ironheart says that demons should be like the Ironheart we just met. I don't know how that character is like, and now my nemesis, Sacha Baron Cohen, Mephisto. I literally none of it makes sense to me. That whole sentence is insane.
I just can't wait for the memes of Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto just going around saying, "My wife."
My wife.
Like that, if that's real, that's gonna be real stupid. My demon wife.
Very nice.
I mean, I guess,
or they have
the
demon from Borat's like hometown running around.
I guess that's a choice. I saw some memes as Sacha Baron Cohen in his incredibly anti-Semitic getup.
Sure.
Saying like, "Oh, that's him as Mephisto," and I was like, it's gonna be so hard for people to take this man
seriously. I'll tell you this though. In God, I forget the movie. It was a true story about there was a court case and he played the character in it. I think it was on Netflix. Chad will say the movie. Chicago 7. That's what it was. If you haven't seen Chicago 7, that man can act. Like he's very, very good.
Oh, no one can I can't.
And I didn't see Borat or anyone, and I saw like the character he was playing, and that's it. It was very good.
No, I have no doubt. This is one of those casting things where I have no doubt that he'll be fine and it will be great. It's just crazy to me that they're like, all right, we're gonna introduce Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto. In Ironheart.
Ironheart. Yeah, I get you.
The combo makes no sense to my brain. Like I cannot. Yeah. I cannot. But again, it's one of those things where I absolutely, when people they post like, "There's no way this casting is," I fundamentally believe to my core, $1 billion company, they don't play around when it comes to casting. Like,
sure.
Every time someone's like, "What the hell? The vampire guy's Batman," or like the guy from the rom-coms is Joker. Every time the internet loses their shit, and every time they're like, "That was awesome, dude."
Yeah.
Every time. So I don't pay attention to any of that. I'm sure he'll be fine. It's just bizarre to me.
It's bizarre
that they're like Mephisto in Ironheart. The girl who like made the side plot of Wakanda Forever is fighting Mephisto. It's crazy. I don't know what the hell I don't know what the hell that's even gonna look like.
We'll see. It is what it is.
Ironheart. That's wild. That to me, you know what that sounds like? Because people have been waiting for Mephisto for a long time, they want to use that as like a hook to get people to watch a show they might otherwise watch. Yeah.
I'm sure they they have the data on what people thought of that character and how it came across in Wakanda Forever, and now they're looking at it and like, well, they're gonna have their own show, so now we gotta figure out how we make that show interesting, and pull people over to that. Right, get people into that. So we will see.
But like, what to me is crazy is like you have House of Harkness.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say,
why not?
It could be in both.
That to me makes so much sense.
Yeah, he could be both.
However, I do feel like JP's right that it's a draw to go see Ironheart, because if you were to tell me, oh yeah, Borat is going to be Mephisto in a show with already Aubrey Plaza, like that show already, I'm already in. That's gonna be a wild ride. I'm gonna watch that.
I forgot Aubrey Plaza was in that. That's a great segue.
Yeah, like literally the entire cast. I'm like, oh my god, everyone in this show, I want to just like, they're my favorites. So I'm already just obsessed with that. So I get why they move it to a show where I was like, I don't know anything about this character. Like I don't know. I guarantee, I think Bronze is also right that they probably have, or whichever one of you said this, they probably have all the stats and information already. And absolutely, they also see what the other TV shows that were like, here's a character you've never seen before and how people reacted to it.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure somewhere someone was like, this is what we need to do. Which is like, okay, cool. We'll see what happens.
We will. I'm going to use the Aubrey Plaza connection. Let's talk Legion. Season 2's done. Hey, those final episodes, did you guys, were you able to stick with it? Did you watch them all 5 at once? How was that?
I still haven't seen the last 2 because I had to rewind the 2 before that. I need to clear the air. It's not from lack of trying. I actually rewinded all the way back to the episode where he kills the nightmare creature.
Yeah, the thing in the ear and the head.
Yeah, because I was like, I've missed something.
Yeah.
I truly felt that way. And then I went all the way, and then after rewatching that, I went all the way back to the one before where they resurrect Lenny.
Uh-huh.
I went all the way back there because I was like,
that was like
I've missed
episode 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I kept going back because I was like, I've missed something. I've missed something because clearly I'm very confused. And I have to be honest, I still haven't watched the last 2 because I feel like I've definitely missed something.
How can I sum this up? I feel like I now understand why the viewership was so disparate between seasons 2 and 3. Like, I get why. Like, I finished this show and I still am not sure what the hell I just watched.
Well, the final 2 episodes are crazy.
Like Bronze, I stopped, paused, rewound. I went to wikis to be like, what the shit did I just see? Like, I looked up theory crafting. It's that kind of thing where I feel like there is a place where season 1 was where they walked a fine line between totally insane and still watchable. And I think by the end of this, they flipped the switch and they were like, we're getting real weird with it. And some of it, I was like, what the hell just happened? So yeah.
Well, and for some reason, like, I was like, did I miss something with the monk? And did I miss something with like the body they put in the grave? Because I went back to rewatch and see if it was like
with
a
metonymy or whatever?
arm.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like, or no, the chattering monk guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, there's so many threads. And then I went back to watch all of the intros where you have that voiceover by that really hot guy.
I'm gonna let you get there. John Hamm. It's like the easiest name to John
stroke in real time. John Hamm. Yeah. I went back to watch all of those too. And then I don't know. Guys, I don't know. I really like it, I think. But then there's stuff I read too far into, and then I wonder if, like, does this even mean anything?
There's a lot of that in the show.
Far into this, you know?
Like they kind of wrap it up.
Do this as a bit?
They kind of pull it all together in the final episode, but the final episode is kind of the first episode of season 3 because the season kind of culminates at the end of episode 10. And then episode 11 sets up season 3, if that makes sense. And season 3 is completely fucking bonkers. Like, it's on another level of fucking crazy.
On board and understood for like the first half of the season.
I don't even think I was there. I don't even think I was there.
And then the second half.
Did you really watch it?
Especially starting the episode with Sydney, where he's like trapped in her mind, or they're trapped there together, and he's like trying to wake her up.
Oh yeah, and she won't let him. Yeah. She's in the Minotaur maze or whatever. I was
like, this has to be important and this has to be relevant somehow, right? And then in the end, I was like, I don't think it was. I think it was just to give us backstory for Sydney, because her entire thing.
It was to tell you about the relationship of Sydney and him. Is what it is.
Yeah. But I was sitting here like, she goes on the end saying like, we're not lovers, we're fighters, baby. And she like goes on this like tangent about how they have to like give up on love and fight. And I was like,
the final 2 episodes make sense of that.
Okay.
Or at least give you context to why that was there. Yeah.
The reason I didn't watch the last 2 is like, I don't think I'm ready. I have no clue what's going on anymore. When I hit, what is it, the 9th episode, I was like, I don't know what's happening anymore. Like, I have to go back.
I've never seen a show. So most shows, I would say to people, like most series, old series, I would say they're better being watched one after the other back to back to back, right? Because a lot of the time, the reason why older shows flop is because there's that week in between each episode and people just fall off, right?
Yeah.
And this might be the one show where I'm like, I think you need a week to process. I think this is the one show watching 4 episodes in a row is like sensory overload. By the time I was done, I was just like, what did I just watch?
And I feel like I'm reading way too much into Old Boy with the 8 computer ladies. Like, I really think I'm like reading way too much into that, which is why I can't move forward, because I'm like, clearly this is important and I've missed something. And the sister had a flashback memory where she's like dreaming that she's one of those people.
Yeah. You're talking about Melanie? Who are you talking about?
No, wait, is her name Melanie?
The older?
No. Melanie's the
older woman.
The older woman. No, I can't think of the main character's name now. David's sister.
Oh, David's sister. Yeah.
David's sister, because you remember I just rewatched these episodes, like to make sure I was on top. David's sister, before she gets turned or gets exploded by Lenny, or into Lenny, is having a dream that she is one of the ladies that's like a part of this computer.
Right. Oh, right. 'Cause she has the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and so I was like, did I imagine that? I went back and watched that whole thing and I was like, is this relevant somehow? And then 3 episodes later, they fight those ladies and they're all...
They do fight.
And then they fight those people and then they put Autonomy in there too?
Uh-huh. Yeah. He goes inside of the dream, I think. He goes inside of the memory.
Because they're like, we can save his mind. And I was like, is she in there? Did they save her mind?
I think she's in
she was dreaming of being in it?
I think she's in the headscape or mind space or whatever you want to call it of Aubrey Plaza. Was that in episode 9? Yeah, because I don't know if that was episode 10 or 11, but like David's sister
keeps, like, snapping.
Yes, David's sister.
Then, like, you see her.
David's sister like is haunting Aubrey Plaza because she's inside of her body essentially. Because it's like two minds in one body, in the physical body. They get real crazy. I guess astral plane is probably what it actually is. Yeah.
The other crazy thing I was on was I was like, well, Amal Farouk kept Lenny like in his head.
Right.
Is it inconceivable that David couldn't keep his sister in his? Because they have that episode where you see like all the different options of lives that David had.
Yeah.
And then his like sort of recollection of his sister, how that changes like her manifestation, if that makes sense, like depending on whether he's bitter towards her or not. So then I was sitting there and I was like, oh, I wonder if like if he has her in his mind because he's such a powerful psychic that like he can keep her in his head. But then I was like, wouldn't the way he views her change who that person is? And I was like, is that why she keeps having dreams of like being a part of this computer or whatever? Because that was like, how the hell else would she like be dreaming of that? Like, I don't, y'all, I've become lost in the sauce. I have become completely lost in the sauce.
The next 2 episodes will answer a lot of questions for you, but they also just pose a shit ton more. And it, like I said, it sets up for season 3. Like season 3 is legitimate. Like season 2, I feel is, I don't want to say tame, but in comparison, season 3, it is tame. Like they go fucking bonkers. They start playing with the idea that he's just like creating realities, and it gets wild.
I did sort of feel like that was where, because that flashback episode where he's like going through all these different versions of himself, the millionaire, the everything, right? I was sitting there and I was thinking about it. I was like, well, what's the relevance of this episode in the greater scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way they would spend an entire episode doing all of that. And then in the following 2 or 3 episodes, Amal Farouk talks to him extensively about being a god and how the game is rigged, but they're the state that makes the rules or whatever. Therefore, they're the ones rigging the game.
Right.
And that he can, when he's ready, he can come sit at the big boys table. And I immediately kind of clocked that, like, okay, so David is the villain. And the reason that his girlfriend wants him to not kill the Shadow King is because I think she knows that, like, the Shadow King is the only one that poses a viable threat to David.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I wonder if he can and he has written all of those realities. And if he can and he has lived all of them. And he just chooses whether or not he wants to remember them, which is why even in season 1, he can't tell which timeline is the real one. And I was like, I wonder if, like, he alters reality kind of WandaVision style, like, depending on, like, what he wants to believe is true, to the point that when the Shadow King is like, well, of course I killed your sister. She put you in an asylum.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, but I was sick. And in my head, I'm like, were you though? Like, were you sick?
That's the problem with the show, is that all the weird things they're attempting to do, which are weird and crazy, and you just have to hold on for the ride, are then penned in by the fact that we just have a completely unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
So you're always triple guessing everything you're seeing, and it makes it really hard. Like, when you have an unreliable narrator, but the story is simple, you're like, all right, well, this is like crazy on one level. But when you have an unreliable narrator, plus a confusing story, plus a story that's like metaphysical in nature, everything you're watching, you're just like, is this even what I'm watching? At that point, it's existential crises, the show. You're like, what the shit is happening? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, whenever we get to season 3, we'll spend an episode like recapping, or I'll find a proper recap to send you guys to watch, because you'll need one. You'll definitely need one. Because I think I've like watched season 3 twice, and I still have some questions in terms of like what's happening on certain episodes.
Y'all need to understand, I went back and rewatched scenes from season 1 because of season 2.
Yeah.
Because I thought that some of that was fake. Like, or I thought that they kind of made it seem
it was
like
just in his head.
Some of that stuff didn't happen.
Yeah.
But then in season 2, they're like, oh, well, that did happen. And I was like, okay, so is Benny Lenny? And that's where I started to lose it. Is her entire episode about the Rondo citrus soda and da-da-da-da. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. And then she says, oh, like, he put my tits were in one room and my head was in another room and my ass was in another room. And then I was like, wait, did that happen or did that not happen? Because wasn't she in his head the whole time?
That's
And I had to go back and rewatch because I was like, I thought that she wasn't actually there. Like, was she actually there?
That happened.
That did happen.
It did happen. Yeah, that's where Lenny dies. But where she also, her brain goes into, or sorry, her being, her essence, soul, whatever, goes into the Shadow King's.
The Shadow King.
Yeah.
Who is still hijacking David at that point.
Who's still in David's head at that point, yeah. So she kind of goes into David's head and Shadow King, yeah. And then when Shadow King goes
Russian nesting egg.
Yes. When Shadow King leaves, Lenny goes as well. Because you didn't necessarily know that Amal Farouk was a character at that point.
Yeah.
Was the Shadow King.
Okay.
The true Shadow King. Not the like nightmare.
So that's why you keep seeing Lenny with the guy, the dude, Melody's husband. Instead of seeing,
because they're both in the Shadow Kings. Yeah,
Amal Farouk hasn't revealed himself yet.
Yeah. That's correct. I believe that's correct. Right, Jesse Cox?
No, I don't believe anything about this show.
Okay. Well, that's Legion season 2. Thanks for watching along with us. We'll let you know when we're watching season 3.
I'm so sorry, chat, that I don't have more thoughts on the finale. It's my fault. I keep going back. I think I just need to forge forward. You know how it's like
just watch the 2 next
process?
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
they
I just
answer
need
most
to
of the
forge
questions
forward.
that you need to know.
But I just, and this did happen to me with season 1 too. I don't know if y'all remember, but I was like, I keep rewatching the because I'm like,
it demands
clearly
full
I missed
attention,
something.
the entire thing. It can't be passive
Yeah,
viewing.
and I do, and then I swear to God, I feel like I'll have missed something where I'm like, oh, that scene just ended. I must have missed something, and then I'll like rewind, and I'm like, no, they just cut away from that. Okay,
Right.
because it's just so jarring in places, and some of it I like, and I actually gave them points for this in the beginning when we first started watching season 2. I said these guys are really smart because they will put things that are just random and don't matter, and then they will put little background shit that does matter. And they try to distract you with the stuff that doesn't matter. Like and it'll be like, okay, so like their cafeteria, that is the most unhinged shit I've ever seen in my life. A river with like freaking boats on it to bring you your food. Like what, like that's so weird. As well as like a constant like thing that's like new symptom alert, And so it's like they're bombarding you with like all of this weird shit. And so you're so busy looking for meaning in these things. And then the important stuff is like usually happening in the foreground,
But the problem that I have with it is as it keeps building, it's very similar to like Lost in a way, except Lost didn't have an unreliable narrator. Lost was just kept getting weirder and weirder for the sake of getting weirder, but it was a mystery, and so the weird was like what you were trying to decipher. This is the same thing, except on top of that, you don't know whether you can believe everything you're seeing. So it isn't even like, oh, that's weird, I don't know what that means, I hope we find out what that means. It's like, whatever we just saw, that might not even be real. Or it may be real because the person who made it creates the reality. So how does that track back to that main character? Like, at a certain point, again, I do not recommend watching this multiple episodes in a row. This might be the only time I say don't binge a show.
Yeah.
Like this show, you need to take a moment to be like, what did I just watch? Because there's a lot in there that is too much. Yeah.
Gotta take a little time. Well, that's
and it's not even like turn
your
brain
next
off.
Episode, are we watching Inhumans? But are we doing it on? I had
one episode of Inhumans.
I had pitched us doing a live react. Are we still on board with that?
Can we get away with it?
Live reacting?
We wouldn't have
like,
the audio. It would
just
It would just be us like talking about what's happening. I mean, we can do it. It's not hard to set up. I've done that stuff. We would just have to have a time sync, and we have a timer that Barry's built. So yeah, we could possibly set that up for next Monday. If you'd rather watch it live and in real time, we could.
I mean, I sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And that's next week's episode. Because we are going to have some like downtime going into December. Like what is the next MCU related project? Is that spring? The next MCU related project.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Winter's pretty lax, so
I'm looking. Hold on. Is it? Well, there's Midnight Suns. We'll be playing Midnight Suns at the end of this week on the 2nd. So we'll talk. That's not MCU related. I don't know what's next. Is it? Oh, I guess Ant-Man would be the next film in February. And I don't think there's a Disney Plus show out till then. So we definitely have some time to watch some shit shows. If you want to. That's up to y'all. It really depends on how much you guys like Inhumans.
Do you know what though? Since he is back in like She-Hulk, this could be prime time for a Daredevil rewatch.
No, I'm not letting you out of this. We're doing Inhumans.
Well, no, I'm saying next week, yeah, Inhumans, but like after that.
Are we watching
have,
it
like,
live next week? Is that what we're doing? 100%?
I'm down. Let me double check my flight since I'm going to be coming back from PAX Unplugged. But I should be able to make it work. If anything, it'll be like last time where we might have to start an hour later than usual. But I'll see. I'll hit you up, JP. I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah. We can do that next week. Apparently, What If is coming out potentially before. What If season 2 is coming out potentially before Ant-Man. But we haven't gotten any trailers for that yet. Maybe that's supposed to drop later today or sometime next week.
They do time it right after our podcast. It's like Disney watches us, and then they're like,
"That's what I've thought." Yeah, we're very important to the Disney ecosystem.
Yeah,
and then they,
yeah. Like, what does Bronze think about this thing we did?
I don't think that's it. I don't think they care about what I think about what they did.
I think specifically they say, "What does Bronze think about Captain America?" And they base every decision. That's why they made him old.
Could be.
Yeah, you ruined Captain America for America.
Thanks, Bronze. Is what I'm hearing.
Thanks, Bronze.
I ruined Captain America?
For America. Yeah.
For America.
Oh, shit.
I got 18 videos lined up in the tank, ready to go. All about how you personally are this show's Miss Marvel.
There you go.
Wait, Captain Marvel.
Oh, wait. The Inhuman episode 1 is longer?
Please don't deport me. This is the only country I have a citizenship to.
Was episode 1 of Inhumans like a...
I got Jesse with that one.
It was good. It was good.
I get you once in a while, Jesse. I get you once in a while.
Chad is saying episode 1's 75 minutes. It is. Oh, right, because they did the premiere of this in theaters. They had like an IMAX premiere of this.
Hell yes.
Right.
Hell yes. Hell
75 minutes?
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Well, the IMAX version is 75. The ABC version is 84.
Oh my God. Y'all smoking crack.
We're watching it live.
84.
Next week.
You want to do it live? You could have done it in little chunks throughout the week. You said live, so here we are.
We're doing it live next week.
Can I retract my statement?
There's no retractions on this podcast.
It's far too late.
It's a live show. There's
halfway through this, you're gonna see the soul leave my eyes. You're gonna see the childlike joy leave my eyes. 20 minutes in, I'm gonna be like,
that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. We'll do a little bit of Midnight Suns chatter. I think that game's like 40 hours, by the way.
There's a Midnight Suns comic, by the way, too.
They've also put out a little the Midnight Suns, the game, is putting out little animated featurettes for the show or for the for the game. They're really good. They're actually like Saturday morning cartoon, like 7-8 minute things. They're pretty good. Pretty enjoyable.
It's making me excited for Blade.
Blade's in the game. You can lift weights with Blade bombs.
Yeah, I'm excited for the movie. This is what I'm saying. I love Blade.
Well, they got they got a new director for that, didn't they?
Yeah, apparently they're saying that the new direction of Blade is going to be like dark, which I'm here for.
I never trust it, man. When they start like making changes during production, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I get so worried. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why.
Not me. I'm not worried about Blade. Blade, I've no hopes. Blade has never been great. It's been fun, and that's all I require. I require Blade to have like a good one-liner.
That's true.
And then to cut up a vampire.
But why can't good and fun be the same?
Well, because it's Blade.
Yeah, sure. The director.
Blade 1 was good?
Blade 1, the first Blade movie, is super fun.
Yeah.
Those films are super fun, but they're fucking bad.
Yeah, they're not like great movies, but it's entertaining as hell.
I don't know. That has nothing to do with bad taste. You can like a bad film. That's fine. It doesn't reflect on your character.
I thought they were good.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
The new director is Jan Demange. I guess is how you pronounce it. He's worked on 71, which is, I guess, film called White Boy Rick and an episode of HBO's Lovecraft Country. So we'll see how that goes, I guess. Hopefully they can bring it. Also, Blade 3 is the best of the Blade films.
Get the Blade 1's the best one. They all go downhill.
Jesse Cox.
Get out of town.
Blade 3 is the best.
Blade 3 sucks poo-poo balls.
Blade 3 is the best because Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds used
you can
3
have all the
spray bottles worth of oil to
listen. You can have all the bi fantasies you want. That's okay, but Blade 1 is still better.
Yeah. No one beats Deacon Frost. My dude is
Blade does. Blade beats Deacon Frost.
That's
one and done.
Deacon Frost beat Deacon Frost.
Scene where he's like looking across the street, Jesse, and Blade goes, "Your mascara's running." And he's like, and I'm like, yeah.
It's so stupid.
I love
so
everything.
Fucking stupid.
Again, Bronze just proved my point. Not
better.
A good movie,
Blade 3's
but very entertaining.
I'm pretty sure Blade is the first rated R. Is it rated R movie that my dad let me watch?
Might be rated R.
But what y'all need to understand, as a child, I was obsessed with this movie. Like, my dad rented it and I watched it 30 times. I was obsessed.
Wait, so Parker Posey's
there might
in
be
Blade
some
3?
That might be some of why I'm I think I was the target demographic.
Wasn't Parker Posey the
might have been
vampire chick?
Was she? I thought for some reason, anytime Parker Posey, and she just popped back up in Yellowstone, which is a show I watch, but anytime she shows up, I'm like, oh yeah, she's a bartender. And then she's not a bartender in the show, but that's because she was in Coyote Ugly. That's the first time I saw her. I think that's the first time I saw her. So I just think she plays a bartender in every show that she's in. But anyways. Bronze has a heart out, Jesse, so we have to do this now.
Okay.
The Andor Minute.
It's the Andor Minute.
Time. The Andor Minute.
Hey, the show's over. And man, oh man, what a finale. What a banger. Bronze, have you finished the show yet? Are you still watching?
No.
Okay, you got a flight coming up. You're flying across the country.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it on my flight. I've been trying to do all my reading for,
Check it out.
Got it an 8-hour flight, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Jesse, I was ready to run through a wall after Mothma's speech. I was ready to go just fight some villainous bullshit.
This show has given us a lot of good speeches, but that one, I was ready to go charge a wall of dudes. I was like, let's go, Nana, let's go.
Let's start rebelling right now.
Fire.
It's great.
As an Empire fan, am I going to like this movie? Or the show?
As an Empire fan, you will probably end up being like me, where about halfway through
was feel bad.
I'm gonna burn the Empire to the fucking ground.
Yeah, you're gonna change factions.
It's fire.
No, that's one of my issues that's always been there with Star Wars is they make fascism look appealing.
Oh, nobody else. They don't make it look appealing in this.
That's not this show.
Well, that means they finally hit the tone.
Yeah.
Because every other show everyone's like, who would you be in the Star Wars universe? I'm like, I'd probably be in the Empire. I'd be like, they have really good benefits. And
honestly, I feel the exact same way. I'm like, their ships are cooler, their uniforms are cooler, they have Darth Vader. Yeah. They're way better. But
Darth Vader was a myth.
Myself having a
the average
union
person
job.
didn't know he existed.
But that's cool as shit. Here's the thing. The rebels looked so ragtag, it wasn't cool to be a rebel.
Sure.
It's kind of like the way I feel about when I watch The Matrix. I'd sell out those damn kids eating gruel in that stupid ship every damn day. I would go back. I would cipher the shit out of everyone. That's how I felt about the Empire. I was like, oh yeah, no, I'd sell out Luke Skywalker in a heartbeat. F that kid. However, take away the fantasy and the swordplay and all that stuff, and the Empire is cool because the ships look neat. Nah, dude, when you just ground level when you do the everyday mundane totalitarian shit, you're like, I would throw down so hard for the rebellion. Yeah, I don't want to be part of that Luke Skywalker. I feel like I'm more of a Saw Gerrera rebellion guy. Let's just
wait, where you can't trust anyone and you're just constantly confused, but you're like, fuck it, let's go to war.
Trying to kill me. You trust me? This is, let's call it what it is. Oh yeah.
It's a great Forrest Whitaker. That's Saw Gerrera.
Forrest Whitaker. I love Forrest Whitaker. I love.
Dude, he's an insane actor. Everyone in this fucking show is insane.
Call it what it is then. Whoa! I love Stellan Skarsgård being like everything. Like every actor in the show is like,
it's fucking Shakespeare, bro.
Dude, they give everyone like a great speech, and every speech is fire. You're just like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone.
The manifesto reading too. Like between that and between God of War, I feel like people that watch this show are getting some good ass messaging this year. Between be better and try. It's like, okay, guys, this is pretty good shit. This is a good mantra to go by over here.
I saw some guy post that he didn't like Andor because it resonated with him too much in real life. And I was like, I think that's supposed to be the point, my man.
Yeah, that's the fucking point.
I think that's supposed to be the point.
Dummy.
It's supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Like
if you watch that and you realize that you're living in an oppressive state, maybe that's a problem, dude.
Maybe you should be upset. Yeah. It's very fascinating to see people's hot takes on like, I just miss the laser swords and the force powers because like this is too close to home. And I'm like, that's the point, my man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be like, oh shit, wait, what? It's supposed to resonate with you, which is why you're the guy like me who's like, the Empire's cool. And by the end, you're like, I'm gonna fucking, I would ride or die with Andor. I would be like, let's go, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go. Strap me up. Let's go.
It's pretty fucked up. I mean, they have an entire character who doesn't say a single word, but all he does is build a bomb.
Yeah.
In a Star Wars show.
Like
they show a bomb building sequence and you're like, God damn, like this is some real shit.
That kid had 0 lines and they explained exactly why he was doing what he was doing.
Yeah, he told the story of his face. It's great.
Yeah, and that setup was like the end, that last 15 minutes was crazy. Visceral, dude. There was like people stepping on each other and like, dude, fucking Yennefer, I don't know her real name.
Oh,
I was like,
I don't. Yeah,
I was like, for like a bad guy, I was actually worried. I was like, whoa, she getting messed up.
Well, she never experienced actual conflict, right? Like she's ISB agent,
which I think is super interesting. Learning, like not knowing where these characters go. I think it's interesting that you could see, based on what happened at the end of the episode, how potentially this could be either the thing that hardens them even more.
Yeah.
Or the thing that makes them be like, maybe the Empire does suck. I don't know, man. I'm excited to see what season 2 brings.
Same. They started filming it last week, but we got to wait till 2024. We got to wait a whole fucking year. So
I love
doing that.
A piece of media that resonates too much with real life, you know?
Oh, this one does through and through. It is kind of, I do have an issue though, Jesse. A bunch of my friends, whenever I see them, when we grade each other, the first thing they say to me is on program, and I like stand up straight. I'm like, God, fuck you. The show even fucking programmed me.
Except you have to do it on program.
Yeah, you got to do it like.
Keep moving forward.
Yeah. It's a great show. 10 out of 10. They nailed the ending.
I didn't watch it.
Hilarious.
Can't believe
I think I need to watch it.
Again, the one thing that's amazing about the show is they made me realize, no matter what they say to me from now on, the Star Wars hotel is literally the prison they made in this show.
Yeah,
it looks the exact same. I can see nothing else. And that's hilarious to me, that they set up this like, come aboard the starship. And it's like, no, you made a space prison. And you sold us on the idea of it being cool.
I mean, in a lot of ways, the show's the most like anti-Disney show that Disney's ever put out.
It really is.
Like Gilroy and the rest of the writing team is definitely saying like, hey, Disney, fuck you. Right? So yeah. If you haven't watched it yet, it's worth watching.
My timeline was abuzz with talks of like Kenobi, which I'm gonna be honest, I never finished because I just didn't really care for it. Like 4 episodes in,
you should watch the final episode of that.
There just wasn't a lot of talk about Andor, which is surprising because everybody I know that has watched it loves it.
I feel like it's doing Breaking Bad now, though. Like a ton of people are talking about it now that the season's over, and a lot of people, like I've even seen marketing for the show pick up on like Twitter and TikTok and really anywhere else that, and that might be maybe the algorithm that I'm a part of, but I've seen more ads than I ever have for the show now that it's finished. So I'm hoping
some
it's
shows that
bad.
get like discussed a lot, right? And it's just so strange to me that like every person I do know that tweets about Andor is like, this is the best show that you're not watching.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's just so strange to me that like
it's the same vibe as when the Han Solo movie came out. We were at peak Star Wars burnout. I think people watched Book of Boba Fett and that was like middling and kind of shit.
They saw that
Obi-Wan.
They saw that
Obi-Wan
fucking
had a
roll,
promise of being amazing,
and they're like, "I'm done with Star Wars. I'm not watching that guy shoot anymore."
Yeah, like a lot of the Star Wars we've gotten recently has been like lackluster, but the promise was great.
Yeah.
So I think people were like burnt out, and yeah, I feel like it's the exact same thing where when the Han Solo movie came out, people were just over Star Wars and like, I don't give a shit about the Han Solo movie, so they just didn't go. And Andor, I think, is the same way where people are just like, I don't care what Andor does, but it really isn't even about Andor the show. Like Andor is the viewer's lens through which we see the world of Star Wars, the universe of Star Wars being like awful.
Yeah,
like
and
really, it actually makes the Empire seem evil, not just like dramatically like I have electric arms, but like the day-to-day monotony of evil where you're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I think it's fascinating.
My biggest hope, to bring it somewhat back into MCU, I would love to see a writing team similar to, and I don't know what they would write in the MCU, but if we could get the writing team on the same level of Andor's writing team with something on the MCU, I feel like that would be fucking insane. I don't know what it could be. Maybe Daredevil.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think they ever will. And it's because anytime they even come close, people get very upset. Like with She-Hulk, they started, I feel like, to hit on some topics of like, you guys are going to hate me no matter what because you just think I'm the female version of the Hulk.
Somewhat.
And people got pissed that like there was a direct called shot, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so like, I think a majority of the fandom would have to be okay with that. And you have a majority of the fandom that anytime you critique this media says, well, if you just turn your brain off and enjoy this, if you just turn your brain off and enjoy this. And so I don't know if
I think She-Hulk and Andor is like dessert compared to like fine cuisine.
Right.
Like,
I'm not
so
saying
different.
She-Hulk is like brilliant. I'm saying they started to address real world stuff and people absolutely like swerved on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the Star Wars fandom is distinct in that if you look at the games, the books, the comics, they have had really interesting, really deep, really nuanced storytelling, which is why I personally could never get into the movies. Because coming from the comic books and the books, it's really hard to get into the movies because that level of storytelling previously, obviously I haven't finished Andor, was not there. I'm sure Jesse could speak to that more. It's really hard to go from like all of these different forms of media that tell these really interesting stories to go to like light sword go burr, you know. It's like a hard transition to make.
Sure.
But the fandom is still there, right? So I think like for a show like Andor can be made with the MCU, anytime they've tried to address like colonialism, institutional racism, like people get mad and they're like, well, we already have to deal with BLM in real life. Now we got to deal with this Black Captain America that was apparently hidden by Steve Rogers. I don't like it. And I watch these movies to turn my brain off and not think about it. And I'm like, but why? Because these comics, every single one of them was incredibly political. And they've had to strip it all down for the movies and the shows. And anytime they even veer close, it's like you feel this rubber band effect of people being like, that's not what I want. So then I feel like Disney plays it safe and then they draw back, if that makes sense.
Like I mean, it does. We have the evidence. Star Wars fans already did this. We have the evidence when it comes to the new trilogy.
Yeah.
Every choice that was made in the new trilogy was a weird reaction to the fans. And they kept failing. Like, Disney kept failing. So all 3 movies suck. Like, all 3 movies have major flaws. It doesn't even matter if you're like, well, I like this one more. Doesn't matter. All 3 in the new trilogy, it's atrocious. And I think that comes down to the fact that they were just like, we're going to give the fans what they want at every turn. And every turn, I think Steve Jobs probably said it before, like, people don't know what they actually want. Like, so just give them what you think they need, like that kind of thing. And yeah, I when it comes to Marvel,
choose the direction and commit.
Yeah.
That's what Gilroy
and at least you'll have a cohesive payoff, and the people who enjoy it will be with you through the end. And the problem with a lot of Star Wars stuff is they just like they're all over the place trying to please fans, and at least Marvel will do a thing, and even if it's not, full-throated, they'll still say what they have to say and stick with it, even if it's kind of like the whitewashed, dumbed down version of the topic. At least they're trying a thing without it being, like, you're right. If Marvel ever went full, as the internet, loves to shit on, if they were like, the internet was like, oh, they've gone full woke, then absolutely Marvel, like, Disney backtracks, right? They've done it before all the time. They never want to, like, piss off. Yeah. They never want to piss off everyone. They're trying to, like, walk this fine line. But I think they do it better with Marvel because they have more experience with the failures from before. I feel like they've it isn't that they're better at it or that the audience has changed. It's just I think they're trying to, like, fine tune the how do we keep a larger audience. Something I think a lot of people don't like. I don't give a shit. Like, if I think you're a dummy and I think your opinions are stupid, I'll let you know. Right? Like, I think a lot of people feel that way, but if you're a big corporation and, let's say one of your amusement parks is in Florida, you probably want the Florida population to go to your amusement park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're gonna walk lines and thread needles, but they certainly, Star Wars fans ate themselves alive. And you can see it happening sometimes in Marvel, but I think for the most part,
every once in a while,
people are like, they're trying, bro. So we don't have to be as racist. You're like, okay, cool. Thanks.
Sure.
Like, I was shocked when I played KOTOR for the first time, like, I want to say a year, 2 years ago. And they had an entire storyline about, like, Wookiees being essentially, like, enslaved and how the Jedi don't really do anything about it. And so you have this guy, Bindo Jolie, that's like, well, I left the order. And it's, like, literally, like, everybody's a piece of shit. And I was like, this is, once again, so refreshing coming from, like, comic books and novels where that's the case into a game where, once again, that's the case. And then the movies are just like, and that's, like, the extent of what they talk about with Wook. And I'm like, and they, like, make light of, like, a Wookiee life debt. And I'm like, isn't that another form of slavery if you think about it? Like,
sure.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just spitballing here. It's just so weird to, like, I'm happy. Like, this makes me excited to continue watching Andor. I'm only 2 episodes in.
It'll hook you by 3.
Excited to keep.
If it doesn't hook you by 3, then you won't like the show. But 3 is like where things start coming together. So, yeah, or at least where the show, like, is fully realized, I guess is what I'll say. And then it just builds. Did you see that interview, by the way, from Gilroy, Jesse, where he was talking about the criticism of the show being slow?
I did not see the interview, but I hope that he said
he straight up just said, like,
up.
Well, he straight up said, like, guys, the reason that this show is what it is because those quote unquote slow episodes set you up for the moments later in the show. Without them,
I mean, that's
it would just
how it works.
Yeah, he was like, without them, it would just be like every other TV show that exists, and that's not what I'm trying to make.
Yeah, that's why it works. That's why it's so good. When people are like, I don't like how slow it is. It's like, bro, that's called storytelling. Not every episode's going to be Dragon Ball Z. Calm the hell down.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine, my dude.
Yeah.
But I think that just has to go with the fact that people have been trained for years and years and years about what, like, TV should be. These, I feel like the people watching Star Wars and are complaining about it being slow are not the same people watching, like, Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? There's
Different
setup has to occur for payoffs.
Different
right?
audiences.
And I think, it just comes down to, it sounds snobby as shit, but it just comes down to a lot of viewers I don't think are ready for like adult stuff. No. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people aren't there emotionally with 90% of life. So
there's a reason why the Kardashians.
That's like me with Ozark.
Well, there's a reason why Kardashians like one of the most viewed shows year after year.
And again, let me just say for the record,
reality
the Kardashians
TV is the same thing. It's easy viewing. You don't have to think.
Chloe, I want to get a salad. What kind of salad? I don't know, something grain.
Everyone can relate to that.
Grain?
Jesse.
Grain? I can't believe how disrespectful you are right now. And that is like millions of people watch that.
Yeah.
And it's like
I don't even like salads, Jesse, and I can relate to that because I want to get some food.
No, that's the worst. It's literally the worst content. I'm so disappointed when I see people are like, I love the Kardashians. I'm like, what is the matter with you? Like, I can get liking the way they dress or liking a product they sell or liking the way they look. I get that.
I was like, I might like the way they do their makeup or the way they dress, but I've never watched their show. And I don't
give a
think
shit about like their personalities, their lives. I could care less about. But them themselves, like, fine. I get being obsessed with like, oh, it's like that sort of first family vibe or whatever. Or you like the idea of them like being celebrities and the way they look and the way they fine. But if you watch them do anything, it is. I have a theory, and it stands correct to this day. Most beautiful people are the most boring people on planet Earth. And honest to God, I don't care if they're mostly plastic people. The beauty, like, it is like watching beautiful people be stupid and boring. And I'm like, this just proves my theory. I've never been more correct in this. It's just.
That's reality TV. In a lot of ways.
I hate it so much.
Oh my gosh. This is like a perfect full circle moment. I think this is why I'm not that into TikTok, because it's the reality TV of social media platforms. The biggest accounts are just hot rich people. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, you're not
doing
wrong.
A trending dance or doing a trending thing, and it's just hot rich people, like 20-year-olds in mansions because I watched this crazy documentary on TikTok, by the way.
Oh, the TikTok mansions?
TikTok managers will basically put people in mansions and then like yell at them all day to make TikToks. It's fucking funny.
Yeah.
But like they're trying to sell you this illusion of like, hey guys, like, and it's just like kind of, I think like for me, it's the reality TV of.
Well, I mean, the other TikTok is also training people's brains to watch 8 seconds of content, and that's.
Which is why those people would think Andor is slow.
Yep.
Somewhat,
exactly,
yeah.
Right?
I think a younger audience definitely would.
About D&D. So many people are like, oh, you played for, 2 hours or 3 hours. What happened? And I'm like, oh, character development, plot development. And it's like, right. But I'm like, well, I could throw these characters into combat, but then when they die, you wouldn't give a shit. Right? Yeah. Like we need to get to know who this old turtle is who's eating soup with his hands.
Yeah.
Before we care about this old turtle who's eating soup with his hands, right?
That's some grade A character development. People just don't understand, Bronze. It's fine.
I'll watch you eat soup with your hands for hours.
All right,
that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
That's
to me, that's cinema.
Anyone's ever said. That's some Patreon content right there.
That's
watching Jesse eat soup with his hands.
Yeah, while Bronze watches Jesse eat soup with his hands. It's Bronze.
Do you know, Jesse? Every time you talk during Last Call for Adventure, my chat spams like Red Jasper stands unite, and they just spam like turtle emojis, and they want you to do an Alexa voiceover.
Oh my god! I would gladly.
Red Jasper.
I would gladly.
Yeah, lots of Red Jasper fans in my channel specifically that are like,
nice. The people know. The people know.
Red Jasper Hive.
That's Jesse's new website, Only Soup. OnlySoup.com.
Only Soup.
Yeah.
Only Soup.
Let's do some shout outs. Call this thing a show. Next week, we're watching Eternals Live, episode 1. Make sure to tune in. It's on Disney Plus. Inhumans. Sorry. I don't know why I said Internals. Internals.
Okay.
Bronze, do some shout outs. I'm done.
Now
my brain is shut down. I've been out in the sun too long.
Speaking of internals, hi, I'm the first internal for Disney. Hi everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to MCU Crew. I love this podcast. Wednesday, we're on episode 3 of Last Call for Adventure, so make sure you come through. It's our new D&D show. The entire MCU crew is on it. So if you're here watching us now, you should come watch us play D&D. We just had our first combat. The party leveled up. And there's still time for you to catch up before Wednesday. So come join us. I love that new campaign smell. It's the perfect time to jump on to a game. I'm also going to be at PAX Unplugged this week. Oh my God, it's Monday. That means it's this week. So to give you a quick, sorry, my shout out's going to take forever. To give you a quick rundown of what I'm doing. Friday, I am DMing the Dragonlance live event. That's going to be streamed on twitch.tv/PAX and on my channel. You can come to twitch.tv/thatbronzegirl to catch it. Saturday, I'm playing Certainty Drawn in the Acquisitions Incorporated game. So if you like Jerry Holkins and you want to see us play a father-daughter combo, come through for that. We get into all kinds of trouble. That's going to be on the PAX main stage, twitch.tv/PAX on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'm doing a panel with my wonderful crew of essentially what is kind of my home game, Shikar. We play every Tuesday night. We're not playing this Tuesday, though, because I'm going to be traveling. And we're doing a panel on culture, conflict, and D&D. So if you've always wondered about how to solve conflict in long-form campaigns, bringing your culture into a campaign, sharing your culture with people outside of your culture, and appropriation versus appreciation, I guess, because I do think people from outside of a culture can still engage in it, especially in character development. Come through for that. That's going to be streamed as well. We're going to be in the Mothman Theater at twitch.tv/PAX2. And if you're at PAX, half an hour after that, we have a meet and greet in the hall. So if you want to meet me, Xander John Ray, Gabe James Games, Persephone Valentine, or Lord Balvin, you can come through to our meet and greet half an hour after our panel. That's what I'm going to be doing this week. So if I seem really tired, that's why. I have a lot on my plate this week.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you, I will. Jesse, come to PAX Unplugged.
Yeah, I'm all right. So, hey, hi. This is the part of the show where I usually promote myself. But what I'd like to do instead is promote the fact that over the weekend, I found a collection of old Polaris trading cards from back in the day. And I would like to take the time to show you this one. Right here.
Yep. YouTube sensation.
So this YouTube sensation, I think the name is Aurelion. This person says their favorite game was Fable 2.
That's correct.
And fun fact about them, they have customized a sparkly Xbox One.
Ooh.
That's it.
I'll tell her to watch the shout out. I think she might actually have that. I've seen that somewhere. That she might have that framed.
I love that this on the back
somewhere
literally just has two points of information. Fun fact and favorite game. Nothing else.
That's Polaris in a nutshell.
Back.
Yeah. Where's your card?
So, meanwhile, some of the other ones are like, there's different ones that have like different years on them.
Years.
Like, Strippin has his is loaded with information on the back.
Weird.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is great. This one, oh my God, there's so many. You know what? I'm not gonna look at those. Why do I?
That's a video.
I got them all, baby. I got them all.
That's
by the way, if you want to see what mine is, forgot this existed. For some reason, I have a puppet in this one.
Nice.
I don't know why I have a puppet and a very pink shirt. But on the back, they included. You can tell I was involved with this because on the back they included all of my like statistics for my YouTube channel. But my fun fact was, in the above information are the hidden coordinates for a buried treasure. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like me. I definitely did that.
Weird.
So there you go.
Weird.
This is an era of the internet.
For my entire life.
I think I was like not a part of.
That was
there are people in here
8 years ago.
There are people in here that do not.
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Like, yeah, this goes back. These cards were from 2014 to 2016.
Yeah. And Aaron was probably on the 2016.
2016, PAX South 2016. Yeah, there is
that was where we I think that was Aaron and I's first date was at that PAX.
I got my boy Shofu on here.
Aww,
I didn't even like. This is crazy.
Cute. Yeah. Y'all went on a date at PAX. Look at that. That's so cute.
Yeah. That's correct. Anyways.
What was your first date? Was PAX?
I'm a hater though.
I think so.
It's bullshit. Fucking nerd.
I've been trying to get Bronze to go on a date with me at PAX for a long time, but she keeps saying no.
It's never gonna happen.
Well, she invited you to go to PAX Unplugged, and then you
I invited you to go to Unplugged, and you didn't.
You missed your shot.
Well, that like emasculates me when you invite me to PAX.
Suck my dick, Jesse Cox.
That's
a wrap. Thanks everyone for watching. MCU crew. We'll be back next week. We're watching Internals, everyone's favorite ABC show.
Everyone's favorite Internals.
Bring a Disney Plus subscription because that's where we're watching it. All right. We're out of here. Have a good one. Bye-bye.